Testing 1, 2, 3. Why do I see Dolores as speaker? I'm on here. I don't see Dolores as the speaker. I see Dolores though. She's got on some cool headphones. We've had some great classes this week. I hope if you're I Am Faithfully Fit that you will let folks know we did record them. We had the metabolism, how to speed it up. We had hidden dangers of sugars. We had fasting and faith. We had a great protein class. We had some great reviews this week for the classes, the advanced ones at I Am Faithfully Fit. We're going to do a freebie for you today, and I hope you'll enjoy it. I see Nicole. Nicole is sideways on my screen. Hey, Nicole. Good to have her with us this morning. Always good to have Nicole. Always a pretty smile. Hey, Angela. It's good to have everybody. Good to have you. Lots to cover. This is going to be a real eclectic class. I'm waiting on my help to get here. There she is. I can't do anything without Lisa. Y'all know that. Thanks for being here, Lisa. I know it's Saturday. Y'all know what we used to say. It gets us in algorithmic trouble. It gets us in algorithmic trouble, but we're going to do it anyway because we're not streaming yet. Saturday does not have to be Fatterday. All right. We are rocking now. I think we're rolling. All right. We've got a lot of stuff to hit on today. We've got our We Fixed It. We will be meeting at 12 p.m. We'll be doing some meal planning using the 21-day self-mastery worksheet. Today we're giving folks that wanted to check out what we're doing at I Am, we're giving them an opportunity to do that. This is an eclectic class, so lots of topics. A little housekeeping. You can barely hear me. Can y'all hear me okay? Yes, ma'am, Kathy. This will be posted later. Y'all hear me okay? Okay. Hey, Paulette. Hey, Tom. Hey. So instead of staying just focused on one topic, we've got several to cover. A little housekeeping. I struggle keeping up with the thread, and sometimes people feel overlooked. And that's what our program's all about. Small but mighty team, plus our great members helping one another. We never want anyone to go overlooked. You know what happens? I've heard from people, Travis, you can't worry about everybody, but you know what? I've embraced that. I do. I worry about everybody because this program stands between life and death for some people. So I take it really seriously, and I just want everybody to get ministered to. I want everybody's different. Some people don't need validation, other people do until we grow out of it. I can say that because I used to be one of those folks. It's a struggle, right? Some people have other struggles. Some people have struggles with wanting to be around anybody, but some of us need some validation. But here's what I want you to know. In that thread over there, I can't keep up. So I've heard from people that, hey, you don't ever call my name. Do I have to give a bigger donation? We're not about that. We don't do that. Right, Diane? We're not about that stuff. So we want to make sure you see your Q&A button. Sometimes it's on the bottom of my screen. It may be at the top of yours with a little menu. But if you have my permission, if I don't answer your Q&A, to feel overlooked. If I don't answer it in the thread, you don't have my permission. All right? Is that a deal? Is that a deal, everybody? All right. So we're going to start off with We Fixed It. We're going to talk about some other things too. But We Fixed It has been a very popular class that we've hosted now for about 6 months, where we take recipes and we modify them to make them approved, because if we modify the ingredients, we can control what can we control? And by the way, I give these visuals because if I say insulin, Vicky, you can't see insulin. You can't see it. But if I say the fat bus, you can see it. right? So yes, I want to annoy you. I want after church tomorrow when you go to the El Coyote after church and you look at those chips, I want you to hear Travis's annoying Billy Bob Thornton sling blade voice going, ha, ha, so that you carry your chips in or don't eat those chips. Shout out to Cindy for doing so good on the program. You better believe it. Good gracious. Cindy is killing it, y'all. What a great example of what you can do with this program. Like 200 pounds lost, right, Will? Something like that. We've got some stories here, y'all, that should be on the world news. We really do. We're doing it with little fanfare, but it doesn't matter to us because who are we all here trying to honor? Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, right? So he made himself of low reputation, and so do we, right? No flash, just results and people honoring the Lord. So that we fixed it. We have modified thousands of recipes, thousands of them. Oh, thousands. We can take anything and make it work. My mom used to make the best breaded and fried okra. We don't call it okra, we call it okra. And I couldn't eat it because it meant, huh, huh. Now, my mama and my mom, they make that good kind, not the kind you buy that's in the pack that's got that old tough bread. You know, it's that a little bit of cornmeal, a little bit of flour, some of that good fried okra, you know. And by the way, you might want to write this down. The next best thing, if you're not going to make it, you can go to the grocery store and get picked sweet, lightly breaded okra. Put it in the air fryer, Brother Will. That stuff is pretty darn, it's not mama's, but it's pretty close. It's that lightly breaded okra. You might want to try that. And it's a category 2. There's not enough of the flour on it to hurt anything. You could even bread it and flour it with a little more, with something like some Fiber-Wise and some textured vegetable protein from Bob's Red Mill. Okay, so you can make it. I mean, just delicious. But Mom, when she started making the swaps, I could have her okra again. So you get the cornmeal texture with the TVP. I just take TVP, grind it in a coffee, one of them little coffee grinders, and I make some flour. That's like the replacement for cornmeal. And it's lean protein and fibrous carb. Then you take Carb Quick or almond flour or coconut flour, your flour of choice that's a swap, and you've got breaded and fried okra. So we can take any recipe and modify it once we learn how to do this stuff. And that's what we're going to look at today, like 3 or 4 recipes. Thank y'all for submitting them. Make sure now, when we quit doing, we fixed it there about a month and a half ago. People didn't like that, but we quit getting recipes. So you got to send the recipes in, and they're great educational classes because you learn. We talk about why this thing works and why such and thus don't. So we're going to do that first. Let me answer a couple of questions I spotted. Coach's pizza recipe doesn't say how many servings it makes. Let me give you the rule for all recipes in Shibboleth. If it's an approved recipe and it doesn't say the serving that you can have, what is our checkpoint? What do we do if it doesn't say? Because a lot of the recipes don't. They come before we ever had harmony inside the website. 2-hand rule. So if it's approved and you don't eat more than will fit on this plate or the 2-hand rule, you're good to go. Let's say that it's pizza. Let's say it's pizza and I want a salad with the pizza. Can I fill this plate up with approved pizza and have a side salad if I'm doing 3 eating episodes a day? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, I guess you could. If you wanted to have only freebie veggies, but no, you'd be stretching your stomach. Now, what if you're doing OMAD? Could I have this, if I've only had 1 eating episode, could I have this entire plate of pizza and a side salad? Then you could do that. My friend Mickey McBrayer, Mama probably remembers this. He loved pizza and milk. If I love pizza and milk and I'm having OMAD or even 2 eating episodes a day, could I have my pizza and a glass of Kroger Carb Master milk with it? Now you're getting away with it. That's good. If you're having 3 eating episodes a day, that meal is where some go wrong. Only supposed to fit on the plate or the 2-hand rule. So I'm having pizza, but I also want that salad. What modifications do I need to make with the portion of the pizza that Coach is making? OMAD means 1 meal a day. Cindy really messed us up. Cindy, I love you. She started calling that OMAD. Travis called it Tiger 24 for 4 or 5 years. But she come in here with this OMAD stuff, and now she's got me saying it too. It's 1 meal a day. If we're only having 1 meal a day, we got to add something to it to get our protein. Give you an example, Brother Tom. I'll get up and I'll have my coffee. I'll skip lunch or have a freebie. Now I haven't eaten. And then for dinner, I could have my approved pizza, and then I could take me a double chocolate Mighty Muffin with a little Carb Smart ice cream and some sugar-free chocolate syrup, and I could have that as dessert, and that would count as 2 eating episodes, but it would be the only 2 I had. Does that make sense? I really enjoy doing that, by the way. I like to look forward to that eating episode, and then it just tastes so good. Tastes so good. And then I get that approved dessert. Mom will bring cheesecake down here. Y'all hear me talk about it. You probably think I live with them, but we live right beside each other, and I'm her boy. So she'll bring me down like that approved cheesecake, and I can do OMAD, and I can have a good approved meal and the cheesecake for dessert. That's awesome. Bio Coffee Rich is not a freebie. It's going to count as a half a snack. If you'll add cocoa ringa to it or Healthwise hot chocolate, it makes for a good eating episode. Got to be careful with Bio Coffee. Here's what Bio Coffee should be used for: to get blood sugar up if you have a pronounced drop and aren't feeling well. It should be used to promote regularity. It should be used as a half a snack if you're needing an energy burst. But otherwise, it's got tapioca starch in it. We got to be careful with Bio Coffee, but it does have its use case. So Kelly's talking about the pizza. So if I want extra, I have to make room on my plate. I can't have a side. If you're having 3 eating episodes, you don't want to stretch that stomach. So we're trying to learn discipline. So I have my pizza on one side of the plate, and then I have my veggies or salad on the other side. Does that make sense? You got to make the room. Every component of the bulletproof shield matters. Every component. You've got your water. You've got your journal. You've got your food combinations. You got your portions, and you got your timing. Somebody said that day, I'm going to pick on Will a minute. Somebody said, leave Brother Will alone. He's doing good. He don't need no journal. If you're doing that good, why does he need a journal? Let me tell you why Will don't need a journal. And he does, y'all. He's got to do it with his black belt. I don't know if he'll do it. I love him. I pester him about it. He's got to get his black belt. But anyway, you know why? He's at every class. The only substitute for a journal is a live class. But what happens if your classes go away? Are you with me? We were talking about Cindy and how good she's doing. Ask her what happens when you quit journaling. Ask me what happens. It's happened to me. So you've got the Bulletproof Shield components, and then the 6th component is the most important component. Does anybody know what the 6th component is? The number of man. Bless the name of the Lord. Bless the name of the Lord. Yes. Thankfulness, gratitude, not going, I'm starving to death. All right, so let's get into our We Fixed It before people leave me. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at what got submitted and let's learn together. Uh-oh, I already see one I'm going to like. This one's by Nancy Baggett, who's been doing awesome Cajun sausage, beans, and tomato stew. I'm liking it already. Ingredients: onion, I'm not worried about the onion. Category 3, but based upon the serving, Brother Tom, it may be, it may one medium onion. This is probably going to serve 4. I'm not worried about it at all. Bell pepper, freebie. Green onion, freebie. Garlic, freebie. Smoked sausage. Now we got to be careful. Before I give up on a full fat sausage, I want to look and see what else is in here. Parsley, freebie. Cooking oil, I don't like that. We've got plenty of long chain fatty acids in that sausage. What do we need to change this cooking oil to? MCT oil. Diced tomatoes, a quarter can of tomatoes per serving if it's 4 servings. Red beans is a 6, black beans is a 6. Now we got to get a little concerned. We got some carbs, but lots of fiber. Tomato sauce, Worcestershire hot. Okay, so this all looks great. I need to change the oil. Let me mute this. I need to change the oil. I really need to change that sausage. So we need to use an approved sausage from the libraries. Everybody got that? I could have a cup to a cup and a half of this approved for a serving. Tom, any of the kielbasa that's in the library that's a 1 or 4, that's what I would look up, any kielbasa. But Lisa, I'm going to give them some options because I would want this with full fat sausage. You could do turkey or chicken as long as it's in the library. There's a lot of kielbasa in the library, but I like full fat sausage. I like full fat, but I'm concerned because of the beans. So here's what I would do. I would take the beans down to a half a can each, and then I would allow myself to have the full fat sausage, and it's going to taste better to me. You might be fine the other way. So without changing the sausage, it's a 0 on the weight loss meter. If I change the sausage to a category 4 and leave the beans the same, then we're going to go with a -1. Does that make sense? Get a little better weight loss if we get all that fat out of there. Because a full fat sausage is mostly just fat. I can get away with it because there's not that many carbs that aren't packaged within protein and fiber. These beans already have built-in fat bus stopping power, but I'm a little concerned because of the full fat sausage that it might not be the best weight loss, but a cup and a half, you're not going to have very much blood sugar impact. Does that make sense to all you foodies that do this stuff at home? The logical interpretation of the recipe. So about a cup and a half. I might even do a cup and have a category 2 veggie on the side. Everything else looks good. Good one, Nancy. French onion and beef skillet by the amazing Kathy Austin. Now, this is my jam right here. I can already tell you that's something I would do. And that cast iron skillet, I don't know if that's what it's going to look like, but my goodness, that looks good. Progresso French onion soup, not a problem. Mushrooms is a 2. 96 lean beef, fat-free broth, rice, cauliflower, fat-free cheese, and a bunch of chopped green onions. Lord have mercy, that looks perfect. There is nothing wrong with this bad boy. Put this on a portion plate. If you don't have a side item, you can fill up your 6 to 8 inch plate with this darling. Man, I love some ground beef. Good quality lean ground beef. How does that look to y'all? That one's perfect. I'm going to give you some adjustments, though. Good old -2 recipe right here. Good old -2. It's getting hard to find fat-free cheese. If I can't find fat-free, it'll go to a -1. I'm going to use reduced fat Sargento. That ups the calories, so it takes away from our weight loss meter. Does that make sense? That looks good. Looks good. Making me hungry. Joseph says, morning, Lisa and I are down 12 pounds each. We've had the flu, and she had kidney stones, but we're on a roll. Good job, Brother Joseph. Praying for you guys. That's good people right there, y'all. Met them in St. Augustine. They come down to see us. Love you, brother. Glad you're on the mend. Good job. Anybody got any suggestions beyond what I just brought up? Fat-free, -2. Reduced fat, -1. You got to portion control it. Looks good to me. Simple instructions, nothing wonky there. Vegetarian chili by Nancy. We got some swaps right out of the gate. We got to get rid of that canola oil. These pivots are the difference between this tasting great and gaining fat and tasting great and losing fat. We got to ditch the canola oil. What are we going to swap it to? %100 MCT. Can't go wrong. Garlic clove, stewed tomatoes, category 3. That's a lot. Category 3 kidney beans is a 6. Now, you might say we can't have a 6 and 3 together. No, not when you're whole food combining, but a recipe, we can look at it a little different. Yellow corn, I'm getting concerned. Tomato sauce, chili powder, pepper flakes, tablespoons of low fat. Okay, we've got just a little bit. See this cheese? Either fat-free or reduced fat. Let's put reduced fat, Lisa, or fat-free, but we're only using 4 tablespoons. It's basically as a garnish. But we got to go back up and look at this. I'm not liking the kidney beans and the corn. Here's what we're going to need to do with this. Let's take these kidney beans down to about 10 ounces. I think we won't lose much doing that. And let's take the corn down to 4 ounces. That would be an ounce per serving. Does that sound like that's legit to y'all? That would work. Now we're just garnishing it with the corn. We still get plenty of kidney beans. Might be a little more soupy. But is any of our foodies disagree with that? Because you cook more than I do. But that's what I would do nutritionally to make this a -1. And then we have a good vegan recipe. Does anybody have any disagreement with me on that one? I'm interested in your take on it. That's a lot of corn. I don't like that. I think 4 ounces of corn, garnish it with corn, keep the kidney beans, bring them down a little bit or go to 15 ounces is fine because we're not going to be using much corn. That chili powder, pepper flakes, is that going to bring your metabolism down or elevate your metabolism? Going to elevate it, isn't it? Good little vegan recipe there. Swap out the MCT, bring the corn down to 4 ounces. You could leave the corn out and I'd be satisfied. Oh, anybody want to help Nancy? She says MCT in her oven set her wings on fire. Yeah, you got to be too high heat. It don't work out too good. There's an art to cooking with that on higher temperatures. I even pop popcorn in it and don't have a problem. But I've heard people that have issues with it. You might want to move to coconut oil if you're struggling. Let's look at air fryer cloud cake. That looks good, Amanda. Yummy, you bad girl. Let's see if we can fix that. 4 large eggs. Half cup of cream cheese. Powdered sugar. This is a wheel one right here. And vanilla extract. Let's see how you make this thing. Mixing bowl, beat the egg whites and salt. Separate bowl, whisk together the egg yolks, cream cheese. I see what we need to do. So here's what we're going to have to do right here. Y'all ready? Fat bus coming with this baby if we don't fix it. But it's fixable. It's fixable. Are you ready? Here's what we have to try. 2 large eggs. Separate them. For every 2 eggs that I discard, I have to have how many egg whites? Anybody know the swap? 1 egg equal how many egg whites in these recipes? 3. So we're doing 2 whole eggs and 6 egg whites. That's how we're going to have to roll with this one. And we're going to do reduced fat or fat-free cream cheese. What can we do for the powdered sugar? Can I do monk fruit or allulose? I think it's going to turn out great, don't y'all? Those of you that do stuff like this, Mom said yes. I think that'll turn out great, and you just saved it. You could eat this and get Fat Bus City, or you can do it our way and lose fat. Isn't that awesome? This is a good OMAD thing too. If I've gone all day and had my mushroom coffee, had some, some freebie for lunch, then for dinner I have my red column whole food meal, and then for dessert I could have this air fryer cloud cake. Wouldn't that be delicious? To look forward to that all day, to say no to self all day, looking forward to my cloud cake at night. Allulose is a sugar substitute. Monk fruit or allulose are my go-tos. And that's it. If y'all want to grab those instructions, somebody make that and put a photo in the group. Lisa, if you'll go ahead and I'm going to check questions, will you pop in there the Shibby Shop Drop dynamic link so that we can tackle that before they go? I'm going to answer some questions. What about Joseph's Lavish Meat Lovers Pizza? You can have the whole thing. It's best to use your portion rule. A recipe from Annette. Let me look. I didn't see it. Is it in the thread? I didn't see it. Okay, now I see it. Annette. Sorry that you're going through so much. All right, put a cup or 2 spinach or kale, egg whites. Homemade amazing wrap. So she's making her own wrap. Get a chopper. Here's her own wrap. Please check it, Travis. Get a chopper that makes baby food blend. We might have to, Lisa, if you've seen that, I think it's only to me though, Annette. So Lisa can't see it and I can't stop to put it in a notepad. Maybe you can copy and paste it or send me an email. Put a cup or, it's a lot. This is a lot. Hold on. Put a cup or more, maybe 2, spinach or kale, enough egg whites or 1 egg. So let's do a cup of spinach and kale, an egg, put spices and herbs, spray parchment paper, pour liquid mixture and bake for 10 minutes. That sounds good. let me just go on and try to grab it. People will have to be patient with me. Hold on. Let me grab it. Let me see if it'll copy. Somebody maybe want to try this and we can put it in the group or something if I can. I think I got it. Okay. All right. How can I make gluten-free bread? In the bread maker, I can't use any breads that you mention. So have you checked the recipe library for any gluten-free bread? It's not, it's a blessing not to be able to eat bread. Did y'all know that? That's a blessing from on high if you're trying to get healthy. Bread just makes you dead quicker. But I know that we want our bread. So let's see first. Then all I need is you to send me the recipe that you would normally make for gluten-free bread, just like this one. And then guess what? You send me, just like we fixed it, you send me the recipe and we'll try to fix it, and then you can make it. As Mama says, you can make it. But I need a recipe, and then we can try to make it. Let me see. Recipe, we got bread. Let's see. There got to be something in this big old library. All right, let's see. 90-second bread, 90-second keto bread. There's a lot of recipes. We'd have to go through a lot of pages. Gluten-free. Let me try gluten-free bread. Gluten-free bread. No, I don't know. So can you send me a recipe and then we'll fix it for you? There's nothing that you can't fix, probably. I just need to see a recipe.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's okay. Let me do this for you since you're new to it. Let's see if we can fix it right here in front of everybody. I bet I can. Bear with me. We're going to fix it. Send you away happy. Hold on. Everybody, pray for me that I'm not misleading her. I believe I can fix it. I got formulas for bread. Bear with me. Some of you bread folks will have to help me look at this because I'm not real sure how this would turn out. So gluten-free bread, almond flour, coconut flour, either ground flaxseed or hemp hearts, psyllium husk powder, baking powder, salt, 4 eggs, coconut oil or MCT, and warm water. Those of you that bake bread and those bread bakers, is there anything there that wouldn't go? You could have 1 serving of that. That's a lot of servings. It's a lot of calories, so you can only have 1 slice. Almond flour, coconut flour, those are gluten-free. Flaxseed ground, psyllium husk, baking powder, salt, 4 eggs, coconut oil, and warm water. That would be the proper, if we only have one slice, that would be a category 3. Does that sound like that would work? I don't know if it'll let me put it in the thread. If you want to experiment, unfortunately, we have to experiment because there's not a lot of bread bakers in here. But I think this would turn out good if I know anything about cooking. Yeah, it won't let me do that. We'll have to email you if you want it emailed to you. Does everybody want to try that, or just Dolores? It won't let me put it in the thread. Too big. You think you'd try that, Dolores? Or is it too many ingredients? I'm kind of lazy. It's not letting me. I see y'all are commenting, but I can't see it. It's not letting me see it anymore. Disappeared on me. Huh. All right. I'll try to get, I don't want to promise something I can't get done. I will attempt to send it out in an email and after class. Looks good to me though. My thread's messed up, y'all. I don't know what happened, so I can't see you. If you're saying something in the thread, I can't see it. Can you make your own mayo? Rhonda asked, can you make your own mayonnaise? There's already one in the library that's perfect. So you're asking though, can you do it different? 2 boiled eggs. Do not use grapeseed oil, use MCT oil. That's the recipe in the website. Lemon juice and Dijon mustard. Yes, you could have 2 to 3 tablespoons of that as a condiment, and that would be a good mayo. Does that make sense? I can't see the thread anymore. It disappeared. I did something wonky and it's gone. But there is an MCT oil mayonnaise in the recipe library already, but that is pretty similar to the one you gave if you make those swaps. Anybody else? I have no idea what happened to this thread. I can see one name at a time. No, there's no yeast in it. I do not like that recipe. Okay, I'm sorry. I'd have to do a lot more research to come up with one you like, probably.
Hey, Travis, it's Rhonda.
Hey, Rhonda.
So just kind of give you update on numbers. So yesterday I did eat a little bit, to bring the blood sugar up. And then last night for dinner, because I went to Nashville to my daughter's, I made her seafood. So we had shrimp and crab and fish and broccoli. But this morning I got and at 5:30, my blood sugar was 116. At 7, after exercising, which I thought was interesting, it went to 130.
Yeah.
And then now it's at 60.
Okay, so you dumped all your glucose out. You may have some underlying issues going on that requires medical attention.
Okay.
I would go check that out. You're eating right. You may be eating too little calories. You might need to up your protein, which is not going to cause your blood sugar to elevate. But I was concerned about the lack of protein in your diet. So
Right.
in addition to that, anytime you exercise, if you've got trapped glucose in your liver, you're going to dump it. So that's normal, but it's not so normal to plummet that low after that dump. It's not bad, but you need to get it back up. Did you try any of those things that we talked about yesterday?
I did. I did an apple, so it brought it up. So, but right now this morning, like I haven't had anything to eat other than my collagen and my water. Um, so I thought 116, 131. I was like, yeah, it's a little high. So I thought I'm still fasting, but then now I'm down to 60, so I've got to eat something. So I guess an apple.
Yeah, I would. Your
Okay.
116 was good. That's fat burning zone.
Okay.
That's a good fat burning zone. You did good. The 130 is not bad after exercise. Sometimes after exercise, if I had a carbohydrate meal the day before intense exercise, mine will go up to 160. So but keep in mind you're exercising, so you're not too worried about a big insulin spike because you're using that glucose up while you're exercising. Does that make sense?
Okay. It does. Yeah, I didn't have carbs yesterday because I mean, unless between the shrimp and the crab, because it was crab legs, cod fillet, and shrimp, and just a handful of shrimp and just some broccoli. Just keep it on portion control. But I did. It was a holiday. I had 2 chocolate covered strawberries.
After exercise?
No, that was last night after dinner.
Oh, well, there's your glucose.
Yeah.
What you talking about, Willis?
Good deal.
Yeah, but also people that haven't exercised in a long time, they will have a lot of trapped glucose. It'll take time to get all that dumped out of the system. Every time you burn up that glucose, though, it's attached to water molecules that you're getting rid of too. So you're going to see a little roller coaster ride while you get your body conditioned. A deconditioned body it's not operating optimally yet, but with consistency, you will.
When I started in January, I started with 7,000 steps, and then I went to 10, and now I'm trying to do 15 a day. So
That's awesome. You're on the right path with everything. Don't take Polaroid pictures of where you're at. Does that make sense?
absolutely.
Okay. When
Yeah.
when in doubt, what do we do? Zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. If we hyper focus on today, you're on a journey and you're doing fantastic. I wish everybody was doing as good as you.
All right. Well, I have started journaling like my glucose levels in my journal too, because when you were looking at my journal, it's like, oh man, I've got to go back, and so it was easier to just drop them in at the bottom.
Yeah, you're killing it, crushing it, keep crushing it. Good feedback. Don't
Thanks.
don't stop. Time's
Oh,
time's gonna pass whether we all do this or not, right?
absolutely.
Good job.
Thanks,
Christy,
Travis.
oh, thank you. Christy, will the recipes you went over today be added to the site? Always. How many eating episodes can one have if having to lose well over 100 pounds, 3 or less? So let's talk about that. So question is, if I've got 100 pounds to lose, don't I need more? It's up to you. So let's talk about working the borders and boundaries and pushing the envelope. I can't see, so somebody unmute. My thread's gone. It's the weirdest thing. So if I want to, in a 24-hour period, and still have a perfect day, what's the most number of eating episodes I can have? Good fast track question.
3.
Let me ask it again. If I want to push the boundaries and I want to work the system to the fullest and get the most that I can in, what is the most number of eating episodes I can have in a 24-hour period?
5.
Let me ask it again. If I want to push the boundaries and get in as much food as I can during a 24.
1.
Let me ask it again.
Ah.
If I want to
2.
push the quantity boundaries and get as much in as I possibly can in a 24, how many can I have?
Unlimited.
3 and a snack.
Jennifer won the day. Say it again, Jennifer.
It's unlimited with freebies.
Good job. What belt level are you?
I'm not sure.
Man,
I think I'm a yellow belt.
You just got a promotion.
Oh,
You just got
great.
it's a subjective one. I'm not giving subjective ones away to green to purple. Okay.
Okay.
You got to do but you deserve it answering that. Lisa, write that down. Next Friday, Jennifer gets a promotion.
Oh my goodness. Yay. Thank you.
All right, listen up, everybody. Yes, I've put in 20 years of this program. Don't y'all look at me like that. I get to do some things I want to do sometime. So let me explain. Cindy's right. Everybody was right if we're really trying to do work optimally and change our behaviors. 3 or less is ideal whether you're in weight loss, whether you're in maintenance, whether you're bodybuilding, that is optimal for overall wellness. 3 eating episodes or less, 3 meals that are approved, 2 meals and a snack that's approved, 2 snacks and a meal that's approved. We've got so many data points to back this up. However, if I'm one of those folks and I'm having moments of mental weakness and I don't want to have a holiday, I can have 3 approved meals, an approved snack, and I can graze on freebies all day long. Now, will I gain weight if I do that? Just the bulk of the weight of the food because it's freebies, but you will discard that. But it's a real problem. And I'm going to tell you why it's a real problem. If you continue to make that your habit, those cucumber slices will become Doritos. You're not able to say no to yourself. The reason Cindy's successful is because she's able to say no to herself throughout the day. We want to eat for the size that we want to be and the size that we're going to maintain. So the person who's 100 pounds overweight, let's say that I'm 300 pounds. This is good stuff, y'all, if you really want to change your behavior. This is more than a nutrition program. It's a behavior modification program. This will help us in every area of our life. Because we got here because we're not able to say no to ourselves. We're not hungry, but we're using food as a coping mechanism. So, when I get up each and every day and I'm 300 pounds, you might say, well, I've got so much to lose. I don't want to take too much from myself. So I'm going to eat like I'm 260 pounds instead of 300. So you adjust your calories, you have 3 meals, a snack, and a freebie. That's a problem because by the time you get used to that, you got to change again. What are we trying to get rid of if we're 100 pounds overweight? We're trying to get rid of 100 pounds of fat, right? You don't feed fat. If we go ahead and make the adjustment today, and we adjust to the difficulty of eating at the size we want to be, when we get to that size, it's a piece of cake because we've already established those habits way in advance. So I'm a firm believer that 3 or less eating episodes, even if you're 550 pounds, should be how you start. Make sure you take your vitamin to fill in any nutrient deficiencies, but we're not trying to feed fat. You embrace the growl. We're only going to feed your lean tissue. Does that make sense, everybody? I'm not saying that on certain days when the family's around and it's Valentine's Day and you want to have a perfect day instead of a holiday, I'm not saying that I don't graze on freebies, but I don't make it a rule for my life. If we always get away with as much as we can get away with and it's a perfect day, it will soon be Doritos that we're grazing on. You have to be able to say no and hold space. The beauty of this program is in the faith element and the behavior modification. If you're 700 pounds and your proper size is 200 pounds, go ahead and start eating for a 200-pound man because that 700 pounds is not lean tissue. Starve the part of you that you don't want anymore. Starve her. And embrace the growl. Every nutritionist, every dietitian, their head's going to spin if they hear this video. I don't care. That's why we're successful, helping people. Eat for the size. Go ahead and call things forth and forward that are not as though they already are. At 300 pounds, I wanted to be under 2. That's what I ate. That's the size I have to eat for. Then when I get there, watch this. How many calories times ideal weight can I have in the weight loss journey or less? 8. But when I get to maintenance, what do? I raise them. It actually gets easier because I've already adjusted to 8. Now I can have 10. And you'll fall perfectly in line where you need to be. We're not just looking to lose weight. we're looking to maintain that new ideal weight. Everybody good with that answer? It's fuzzy math. And if I was a dietitian, here's what I would say. Wait a minute. I'm going to put on this has nothing to do with dietitian. I just want to look different. I'm not knocking dietitians. They probably forgot more than I'll ever know. Not about what I do, but so here's what I would say. Now, Cindy, we're starting off at a weight of 240 pounds. We're going to taper down. They treat it like it's drug addiction. We're going to taper down so you don't have extreme withdrawals. And we're going to start you at 240 pounds, but instead we're going to adjust your calories for 220 so you never have hunger. And then you make that adjustment and then you get 240 and you plateau so fast you ain't lost weight in a month. And they say, well, now we're going to taper down a little more, another 20 pounds. You've done left the program by then. You're gone. You're losing 1/4 pound a week. You're gone. Don't work. It sounds good, doesn't it? We're going to taper it down so that you don't have any hunger ever, hun. We never want you to suffer at all. We want you to feel good all the time and have all the calories. And we just don't want you. We're going to make slight adjustments on the way down. And you're gone. You're out of the program. We're not doing that. We do what God says. Is this what God says? What? Wait a minute. Let me come back. Is this what God says? Now listen here, Brother Aaron. Here's what we're going to do. You're caught up in some sin there, brother. You're caught up in that addictive, that sin thing that you're doing. You're stealing a little bit, or you're watching some nasty stuff you ought not be watching. So here's how we're going to do. We're just going to taper down. You can, instead of spending 4 hours watching that nasty stuff, you can only spend 3 hours this week watching that nasty stuff, okay? Is that how God works? No. Repent, for your lean body is at hand. Is that good with everybody? Did I lose anybody? Plain talk is easily understood. Uh-oh, Jack's got to go. Any questions or comments? That was silly. Silly goose. Lisa, I'm looking for that thing before they go. Okay, I think that's it right there. Visit. Oh, no. Did I lose y'all? Oh, there you are. All right, I'll close out with the Shibby Shop drop, and then I'll be back with you at noon for some meal planning, 21-day self-mastery. We might even use this. If you're looking for a way to break a plateau and also incorporate self-discipline, this new plan is fabulous. Anytime y'all get stuck, I want you to mark in your little drop box in the journal, I am faithfully lit, or Shibby Shop drop. Goes over the bulletproof shield. And then we're using meal replacements that preserve muscle and control the fat bus that help burn body fat. They don't burn the body fat, but they assist because of the protein and the insulin control. So you can have for breakfast or lunch, and you don't have to do it every day. If you'll incorporate this 2 or 3 days a week on top of already the good stuff you're doing, you'll get a more pronounced drop each week. These were made for, most of these, not all, most of these were made for bariatric folks to help them preserve muscle and keep losing body fat fast. So you've got pancakes, fettuccine, follow the rules. Breakfast and lunch, you're swapping with one of these. And then you can mark that you had a faithfully lit day or a Shibby Shop day. Then you got dinner options, and we've put all great fat burners. There's even some vegan options. So how would this look for me? Let's say for breakfast, I'm serious today. And for breakfast, I have 2 packages of high protein oatmeal. And then for lunch, I have 2 packages of broccoli and cheese soup, health-wise, or tomato soup. And then for dinner, I have 96 lean ground beef stir fry. And then I stop eating, make sure I take my vitamins and my big 3 for the day. I'm going to melt like taking a blowtorch to butter. This is a great plan. So work it. If you hit a plateau, do this 3 days in a row, guaranteed. I only know of one better plateau breaker, and you'd have to eat a lot of hemp to do that one. Cindy, did you have your hand up?
I did. I didn't know y'all were doing the Shippy Shop drop or Faithfully Lit. So I started it 2.5 weeks ago. So I'll be your test run. Now y'all know I'm a rut eater. So I did for the last 16 days, I've done 14 days of my style of eating, Tiger 24, hemp bar. And then the other 2 days, I've done Lion Days. And I have felt amazing. And so I know I see people say that the hemp bars are expensive. I've seen that. I'll encourage you to take the plunge anyway. And because they're not that expensive if you compare it to eating out, that's for sure. So anyway, enjoy the hemp bars, and then I'm looking forward to seeing the other things that are on the Shippy Shop drop.
Awesome. I love the hemp bars. They're such a great way to break plateaus and to literally heal your cells at the cellular level. So I appreciate you sharing that. They're so good for you too. Anybody else?
Travis,
Yep. Hey, Mom.
it's Mama.
Hey.
Jessica Bramblett is on here with us, and she had texted me. She just recently started taking the berberine twice a day, and I know it's got such great benefits along with controlling blood sugar, but she feels like when she's eating on the plan that she's having low sugar episodes. And I didn't know how to advise her, whether to advise her to go ahead and take it and eat a few berries, or she's not on any diabetic medicine and she's not actually monitoring her blood sugar. So I just didn't know how you might want to address that.
I would keep taking berberine because it has other health benefits, and I would include one of the following once a day as an extra: bio coffee, an apple, berries, or sustain rehydrate or advocare rehydrate. I would incorporate one of those.
Okay, thank you.
I wear my continuous glucose monitor, and after I sweat and get my blood sugar drops, I'll do a rehydrate. Sometimes I'll even sprinkle a rehydrate on a cup of berries, and it's like a treat, but it gets my blood sugar up.
I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out how to work this and take myself off mute.
That's okay.
Cause normally I use I'm on webinars all the time, but I don't use Zoom that much. But yeah, it just seems like if I'm normally I try to stick to 1 and 2 combos and meal replacements and all that. And I drink bio coffee 5 days a week, actually. When I'm at work, I have that while I'm at work. And so, but on the weekends, I kind of stay away from it. But it just seems like when I took it, I got very nauseous. I got very lightheaded and just very sick. But I had a holiday meal and I took it and I felt great. So I feel like I'm probably not getting enough protein or enough carb or something, because I really try to stick to the low carb. And maybe it's not my sugar, but that's just what it felt like.
Oh, I got you. So you don't know for sure it's your sugar.
No, I don't. I don't. That's just what it felt like maybe my sugar dropped. Maybe it done too good, and or I'm not getting enough of something else.
Yeah. Those of you that a lot of people won't afford it. I do it because of Lisa might want to put the Signos link. You can get you a continuous glucose monitor. It's the only way to really know, but it may just be that you need to increase your protein. Are you journaling?
Yes.
Would you like me to look
Yeah.
at your?
Actually, well, I was going to say I've been marking perfect days, but I've not been consistent about putting in everything that I've ate. I'm confessing here, but Yeah, because life has been really crazy here lately, but I've tried to stick to my perfect days, and I normally I go 2 weeks or so and then I might have a holiday. And that's been my routine for a long time. And so I want to get out of that routine and I want to get, I've plateaued. It's been really hard for me to get back down to what I was, but um so I didn't know. I don't know. I probably need to go get some blood work done again. My doctors tell me everything looks perfect.
Yeah. Can I show you some brotherly love?
Sure, please do.
This is the only time I get to be dad, like my dad used to do me. I'll never forget. I was supposed to go to All-Star basketball practice. Mama will remember. And I was supposed to go to All-Star, but I was smitten with a little Rockmart, Georgia girl named Dawn. And instead of going to All-Star basketball practice, I slipped over to see Dawn. I knew that I was supposed to have sweaty sweatpants on the way back in, so I stopped at the convenience store and I put water all over them so I looked like I'd been sweating. And then I walked, Mom remembers, I walked in the house and Dad said, "Where you been?" Because the coach had called him, "Where's Travis?" And he said, "Where you been?" I said, "Had a good practice." He said, "Something
Oh,
that's kind of like marking your days and not putting the information in there."
oh no.
So here's the deal. Everybody, this is great though. This is great. So
Yeah.
we know that the nature's to mark those days. But here's the only thing I want to point out about what she said. Until everything, does everybody see that when we speculate that we can get in trouble and we can think that something we're doing that's helping us is hurting us? But we don't really know yet. So what I want you to do is don't change anything you're doing, but for 1 week until we come back around, then remind me, put everything down for a week. It will be frustrating because you're not used to doing it, but put down everything you're doing for 1 week. And then if this doesn't clear up, we'll be able to make modifications based on the exactness, because we'll be able to know. We'll be able to look and see this is where we're off. But I want
Yeah.
you to know for 1 week and watch things change.
Yeah. I'll admit I got lazy about it. I mean, I've been doing it for years. But I did here recently, I've got the first of the year is always very busy for me at work, and so I let it get in the way. And you really need to take care of yourself and make your health a priority.
Yeah.
Before your job, not before God and not before family, of course, but um I have liked in doing that. So I know it is important
Give me
to
1 week.
journal.
Yeah, we don't want to ditch something that's probably going to help you lose body fat, probably time and a half faster because you're taking it. So we want to make sure that everybody, if you'll get in this habit, every bite that I take, everything that goes in my mouth except for water, I take a picture of during the day. At the end of my day, I come to my computer, I enter it or write it. Lately, I've been writing it because I've been filming me doing the paper journal because I need to move some of those. But I take a picture and then I'm reminded of everything that went in. If I don't do that, I forget about things. If it's a Hershey Kiss, if it's a no sugar added chocolate chip like yesterday, I take a picture, then I'm reminded and I enter it, then I pray and I read my Bible and I go to bed. Get in a DMO, a daily method of operation, and you'll be so much, once you get used to that, we'll be able to tune things up better without us thinking, because we've got people that'll start this program, they'll go, "Your program made me sick." And I'm like, "How did you get sick going from Doritos to Whole Foods?" But because they got the flu right when they started the program. Yeah, I'm just giving stupid examples, but we want you to give us a full picture for a week at least, and then I bet we can fix this.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being a good sport.
Sure.
Anybody else? All right. If you don't have the book yet, we still have a few copies that helps the program keep going. And I tell you what I'll do. We are going to have that meeting. We've got a meeting coming up in April that Cheryl and Cindy's put together. That's going to be good. I'll be there. If you've got your book and you get to come bring it, you may not want my signature on it, but I'll sign it for you. But anybody that buys a book today, we got a few left. I'll sign it. I'll personalize it and get it out to you. We need to get some of these out. We got payroll coming up Monday, so you can help us. Those of you that like the book, please let it be known. It really helps the program out. But again, anybody that purchases one today, I will look at who purchased it and I will put something very personal in there and send it to you next week if you haven't got the book yet. I'll be watching for orders to make sure that I sign them. All right. Everybody like the book that has read it? Honestly, you don't have to fib about it. I can't see the thread. So anyway, hope you did. Hope you enjoying it. And we've got lesson 3 coming up Monday night. Comes right out of the book. Lesson 3. We'll be hitting that. New fast track videos. You might want to go through those again. Take the test, pass test, earn the fast track badge. New journey videos coming next week. As soon as you end fast track, you go right into the short journey videos. That'll be a lot of fun. That way, if you can't make the long live classes, you've got those. New WOW challenges have been added. We're adding a bunch of those. Everybody good today? We'll meet back at 12 o'clock. A text will go out. We'll pull up a digital worksheet and we'll do some breakfast, lunch, and dinner planning. Real simple, but it might help give you a little guide to just help you do your planning for next week. We'll use the Shibby Shop Drop and Faith Driven to plan some meals. You can get that 21-day self-mastery badge. 21 perfect days in a row, you earn that badge. Helps install discipline. Can't see the thread. Something weird happened over here. I wish y'all could see it. It's just weird. Okay, I'm going to let you go. I love you, and the Lord will close out in prayer. I see some of you at noon. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. And Lord, help these people to journal, especially Jessica. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, y'all.
Amen.
We'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.